Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a woman and wondered, is she into me or am I just imagining it? You replay the moments, her looks, her laughter, the little things she said, and somehow you still can't tell. But here's the truth most men never realize. When a woman is truly crazy about you, she won't always say it. She'll show it in ways so subtle, so psychologically deep, that only a man who truly understands women can see it. Before we dive into this, make sure you hit subscribe and like this video, because what I'm about to reveal will make you see women in a way you've never seen before. And trust me, once you recognize these two hidden signs, you'll never second guess as female interest again. Now, here's the thing. Women are wired differently. They rarely express desire in a direct, logical way. It's emotional, instinctive, subconscious. She might not even know she's showing these signs, but her body, her tone, her attention, they all give her away. The first hidden sign that she's crazy about you isn't flirtation, it's emotional displacement. When she starts showing unexpected emotion around you, irritation, jealousy, even random laughter, it's not because she's confused. It's because you're affecting her on a deeper level than she expected. Her emotions get unpredictable because you've entered her emotional radar. She's no longer neutral. You've triggered something real inside her. You'll notice it in the smallest shifts. Her pupils dilate when you speak. She remembers things you never even realized you mentioned. She becomes oddly defensive if another woman is around. That's not coincidence. That's her brain trying to regain control of something she's losing. Emotional detachment. You see, when a woman isn't interested, she's calm, polite, maybe even distant. But when she's crazy about you, her control slips, her emotions spike. She'll show signs of tension, sometimes even irritation, because the feelings she's fighting are too strong. And she might not say a word, but her energy around you changes completely. This is where most men misread women. They chase the calm ones, thinking she's so nice, and miss the ones who are quietly obsessed. The truth is, if she feels a storm of emotion when you walk into the room, she's already yours, even if she doesn't realize it yet. Here's the second sign, and this one will shock you. Most men completely miss it because it's invisible on the surface. It's subtle behavioral mimicry, the way she unconsciously mirrors your actions, your speech patterns, even your body language. And I'm not talking about something fake or deliberate. I mean the kind of unconscious mimicry that happens when someone is deeply drawn to you. Think about this. When a woman laughs a little later than you do, or tilts her head the same way you do, or repeats phrases you commonly use, it's not random. Her mind is literally syncing with yours. Her subconscious is saying, I want to be like him. I want to belong with him. This is her psychological fingerprint of attraction, and it's far more honest than any words she could ever speak. You'll see this in conversation in small gestures. Maybe you take a sip of your drink and she does the same without realizing it. Maybe you lean forward while talking and she mirrors the posture. Maybe she uses your favorite expressions or adopts similar jokes. These are unconscious, involuntary signs that your presence is rewiring her attention, her behavior, even her thoughts. Here's why it's shocking. Women don't do this for every man. This is reserved for the ones they're emotionally invested in, for the ones who have captured their mind in a way that feels magnetic, irresistible, and frankly, a little scary. She's drawn to you in a way that her brain can't ignore, and her body is broadcasting it for anyone paying close enough attention. The danger here is that most men either misinterpret it or don't notice it at all. They think she's just copying me or it's coincidence. But when you understand female psychology, you know the difference between mimicry and coincidence. Mimicry is precise, consistent, and emotional. It happens in context with her emotional spikes, like when she laughs at your jokes harder than anyone else, or subtly touches objects you touch or matches your tone unconsciously. When a woman does this, it's not casual, it's not a game. She's signaling without words that she's captivated mentally and emotionally by you. And once you recognize this, you'll see it everywhere. Your friends might not notice it. She won't even realize she's doing it. but it's the clearest sign a woman is obsessed with you. Now, let's talk about something most men completely overlook: how a woman tests you when she's genuinely into you. And I'm not talking about childish games or manipulative stunts. I'm talking about subtle, almost invisible psychological tests that reveal your character, your confidence, and your emotional strength. When a woman is crazy about you, she wants to see how you respond under pressure. She wants to know if you're solid, if you can hold your ground, and if you can stay calm while she unconsciously pushes your buttons. You'll notice it in small ways: a teasing comment that challenges your ego, a question designed to probe your past, or a scenario that tests your patience. These are not coincidences. They're deliberate subconscious litmus tests. Here's the key most men miss: she's not trying to hurt you, she's trying to measure you. Her attraction isn't just about how charming you are or how good you look. It's about whether you can make her feel safe while also commanding respect. If you fail these tests, her interest wanes. But if you pass, you become more irresistible to her almost magnetically. You'll see this in interactions that feel minor at first. Maybe she asks for your opinion on a controversial topic to see if you stay calm under debate. Maybe she shares a secret to see if you're trustworthy. Maybe she flirts in a way that makes you unsure how to respond, just to gauge your confidence. These moments feel like tiny challenges, but they're loaded with psychological significance. A woman who doesn't care about you will never test you. She has no reason. But a woman who's emotionally invested, who's drawn to you on a deep instinctive level, will unconsciously push these boundaries. It's her way of figuring out if you're relationship material without ever saying it outright. Here's the truth most men never hear: these tests are not punishments, they are signals. They are markers of interest hidden in plain sight. When you recognize them, you stop feeling frustrated, confused, or anxious. You start seeing the method behind the behavior, and you can respond in a way that deepens her attachment. If you can remain composed, confident, and emotionally stable while she tests you, you unlock a powerful truth. She is not just attracted, she is captivated, and that is exactly what separates the men she obsesses over from the ones she forgets. Here's something most men never notice, even when it's happening right in front of them: a woman who is crazy about you will prioritize you in ways you might not realize. And I don't mean she tells you she's busy or cancels plans for you. Those are obvious. I mean the subtle, almost invisible ways she makes you central to her life without saying a word. She starts showing up in your mental space, your routines, your thoughts. Without being asked, she remembers the little things you like, the details you casually mention, even things you forgot you said. She notices patterns in your behavior and adjusts hers accordingly. For example, she might subtly shift her schedule to make time for you, not as a favor, but because your presence matters to her more than she can articulate. Notice how she communicates. It's not just the frequency of messages, but the content. She reaches out in ways that matter emotionally: random texts, small gestures, or thoughtful questions that show she's thinking about your needs and feelings. Even when it seems inconsequential, are signals of deep attachment. She's mentally prioritizing you over other distractions, consciously or unconsciously. You'll also see it in social situations. She might subtly highlight your achievements or make you feel valued around her friends and family, or she may pay attention to your reactions in conversations with others, adjusting her tone, her focus, or her gestures to make you feel included and important. These aren't conscious strategies, they're instinctive expressions of obsession. Here's the psychological truth: women are wired to value men who make them feel secure, admired, and mentally engaged. When she prioritizes you in these ways, it's because she's emotionally invested. She wants to make you a central figure in her world without losing herself in the process. And the fact that she does this naturally is a powerful indicator of her interest. Most men overlook this because they expect grand gestures or verbal affirmations. But attraction at this level is quiet, internal, and persistent. It's the invisible gravity she exerts around you. You might not notice it immediately, but it shapes her actions, her priorities, and her decisions in ways that make her presence increasingly indispensable in your life. Recognizing this is key. If a woman is subtly centering her world around you, thinking of your comfort, your happiness, your reactions, it's not casual. She's obsessed, emotionally captivated, and entirely drawn to you. And once you see it, everything she does starts to make sense. Now, let's uncover something most men completely miss. When a woman is truly crazy about you, she tests your emotional loyalty in ways so subtle you may not even realize it's happening. She's not doing this to manipulate or punish you. She's doing it because her subconscious mind is evaluating whether you are safe, reliable, and worthy of her deeper attachment. These tests are often invisible to the untrained eye. They show up in small questions, casual hypotheticals, or seemingly innocent comments designed to see how you react emotionally. For instance, she might ask about past relationships in a way that feels casual but is meant to gauge your honesty, confidence, and integrity. Or she might mention other women, not to provoke jealousy, but to see if you maintain calm, assertiveness, and emotional control. Notice the pattern. She watches your reactions, your tone, your composure, every word, every microexpression, every pause is being assessed. She wants to see if you can hold your ground without losing warmth, if you can be emotionally present without being overly reactive. This isn't about testing your patience. It's about seeing if your emotional structure can handle the intensity of her own feelings, which are stronger than you realize. Another common form of testing is subtle boundary probing. She might push gently on your time, attention, or emotional limits to see how you respond. Does your confidence waver, or do you stay grounded? Does irritation take over, or do you respond with calm reassurance? These tests are not accidental. They are unconscious, but they are incredibly telling about her attraction to you. Here's the critical insight. A woman who doesn't care about you will never invest energy in these subtle evaluations. She's emotionally indifferent, but a woman who is deeply invested, she is scanning your emotional stability, your reliability, your loyalty almost without realizing it herself. It's a hidden language of attraction that only a man who understands female psychology can read. When you start recognizing these patterns, everything changes. You stop overthinking her actions or doubting her feelings. You see that these tests aren't rejection, they're proof of obsession. They reveal her desire to see if you're worthy of her mind, her heart, and eventually her trust. Passing these tests doesn't just confirm her attraction, it intensifies it, creating a magnetic pull that makes her more emotionally invested with every interaction. Finally, let's uncover the last unmistakable sign that a woman is completely captivated by you. This one is so clear, so powerful, yet so many men miss it entirely because it isn't spoken. It's the way she subtly sacrifices her comfort to be near you. And I don't mean grand gestures like buying gifts or making dramatic moves. I mean the small, almost invisible choices she makes that consistently place you at the center of her attention, often without her even realizing it. You'll notice it in everyday moments. Maybe she shifts her schedule to fit yours, changes plans she genuinely wanted to keep, or goes out of her way to ensure you're included in something important to her. It's not about obligation, it's about instinctive prioritization. Her brain is wired to seek closeness to you, and these small sacrifices are proof of how strongly she feels. Even more telling is the emotional investment she makes in your well-being. She remembers the tiniest details of your life, the story you casually shared weeks ago, the thing that made you laugh, the problem you didn't even ask for advice on, and she acts on them. She thinks about how you feel, anticipates your reactions, and subtly shapes her behavior to make you feel understood and appreciated. This is not performative. This is subconscious devotion. Watch how she engages with you socially. Does she amplify your successes, defend you when you're not present, or align herself subtly with your values and opinions, these actions reveal that your presence matters more than anyone else's approval, more than routine convenience, more than personal comfort. She's prioritizing you internally and externally, and that is a rare, unmistakable sign of obsession. Here's the psychological truth most men never hear. Women rarely give this level of attention, care, and subtle sacrifice unless they are emotionally hooked. When a woman is captivated, her mind and body constantly find ways to make your presence central. She doesn't have to announce it. It's written in her gestures, her choices, her attention. Recognizing this final signal completes the puzzle. Combined with emotional displacement, behavioral mimicry, testing, and prioritization, it paints a full picture. She is not just interested, she is profoundly, quietly obsessed. And once you see these signs clearly, you no longer have to guess her feelings. You understand them deeply, intuitively, and undeniably. This is the truth most men never realize. And once you understand it, your perception of female attraction changes forever. You stop doubting, stop chasing, and start seeing the patterns that reveal her hidden obsession.